Hi, my name is Lori Erdo, and I am in upstate New York, where I'm a jewelry designer who does a lot of knitting and sewing in my free time. And this is my YouTube channel where I share things I've been working on. And it has been a hell of a long time since I've done this, so I am mega rusty, if you will. Today is April 15th. It is my dad's 67th birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. He just got home from having a mass taken out of his lung. He got diagnosed with lung cancer about a month ago. Anyway, impromptu decision to sit down and share my projects today because I haven't done it in so long. And Ray, this is for you. Ray has been bugging me to put a new podcast out, so I'm gonna do it right now. If you are interested in following me on social media, I am on Instagram as Lorelei Hill Erdo. Also the same on Facebook. If you want to follow me on Ravelry, where I keep an updated Ravelry project page, my name on there is Lorelei Erdo. If you want to check out my website, I am at LoreleiErdoJewelry.com. As I mentioned, I'm a jewelry designer, but I do a lot of knitting. But today's episode, I'm going to start talking about sewing. I am participating in a online sew-along with Allison Glass and Juicy Juice. They are fabric designers, and they collaborated on some really fun mini foundation paper piecing patterns, and there are 8 of them. And participants of the sew-along are creating a block, one for every pattern, all 8 patterns, and at the end we'll receive a finisher pin and be entered into all kinds of giveaways. They have all kinds of sponsors, and it's been super fun so far. Mine are a little bit different than the popular rainbow kind of color way that everyone seemed to pick that. I'm not sure why. Mine are, I used a dark gray chambray with Carolyn Friedlander fabric. I just bought a jelly roll of one of her lines of fabric, and I just love the soft colors, and so all of my blocks feature those fabrics. So that first one was stretched geese. And anyway, we have 10 weeks to finish all 8 blocks. And there's a new video and tips and tricks every Sunday. Sunday is when we start the new block. So this week I still have to make this. This is this week's block. It's called Hexagon Step. I've done that one. This is the courthouse step. I've done that one. And this is the log cabin. And last week I did this one, which is the pineapple. So there are 3 more to do after this week's. And it's just been so fun. It's fun to see everybody's block, and I'm following the hashtag on Instagram, and it's just a really fun project. So the idea is that after all 8 blocks are finished, then we will put them in a project together or singly. It doesn't matter as long as we put them into a finished project. I'm planning on doing a tote bag with mine. I'm hoping it works out. This, I'm doing 4-inch blocks. This one came out a little bit smaller. I think I just got a little willy-nilly when I trimmed it. So I might have to put a little border on that just to make it the right size. But, yeah, so that's kind of what I've been sewing lately. Another thing I've been sewing before I get into all the knitting is I've been sewing a lot of tote bags. I'm just obsessed with foundation paper piecing right now, and you can look that up on YouTube. There's all sorts of videos and stuff on how to do it, but it's basically a printed pattern that, like, you print out on your computer onto something called foundation paper, which is like a newsprint. And then, kind of like a puzzle, you're cutting out pieces of fabric that are the same size as each piece on the pattern and sewing it to the paper. And then once you're done, you have a finished block, and then you just rip the paper away off the back of the block, and you can put it into, a bag or whatever. So a couple of the bags I've been doing are just a big 12 by 12 inch block that I'm using on the front panel of this tote bag. The tote bag pattern is from that Handmade Touch by Svetlana Sotek. She's one of my favorite sewing designers, bag designers, and she has this great pattern in here for the front zipper pocket tote. So I'm just using that basic pattern and doing kind of my own take on it. This bee bag is available for sale on my website if you're interested. It's got a nice exterior, 2 big exterior pockets. One's a zipper pocket. And then inside it's lined with canvas, and it's got a nice big pocket, slip pocket. Would make a great knitting bag. I love that bee. That bee pattern is from, I'll try to remember to put it in the down below in the down bar, the designer of that block. I've been buying a lot of them lately online, so it's hard to keep track of everything. And then this was the one I finished yesterday, so it's got a little wren on it from Tartan Kiwi Patterns. They're on Etsy. And I used also a feather pattern for the side panel, also from Tartan Kiwi. And again, it's got the exterior zipper pocket and the back slip pocket. This one is lined with a pale blue linen. Got a little slip pocket on the inside. So I'm obsessed. I just keep making these, and I'm loving them, and a lot of the bird bags that I've made have sold. I can't believe I've made, like, I don't know, I want to say 8 or 9 of them so far. So that's my sewing segment. I guess I'll move on to knitting. The first thing I want to mention is that I had signed up to take a class, my first knitting class ever. My friend Sydney and I were going to drive down to Massachusetts to a yarn store there where Cecilia Campacchiaro was teaching her class for making marls, which is a book she just put out. This book is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And it got canceled because of the pandemic, which really bummed me out, but what are you gonna do? So I did end up buying the book. It took a long time to get to me. I ordered it on Amazon because it was a little bit cheaper. But the class would have included the book, a signed copy, which would have been nice. But anyway, they had to cancel the class. So I bought the book, and I'm already working on the first project. It's a poncho. Let me see if I can find it in here. Of course I didn't. You know, mark the page before I started podcasting. Go figure. Oh gosh, now I can't find it. What's nice is I don't really have to refer to the book. The pattern is just so easy. Marling, if you don't know what that is holding two yarns together, generally of the same type or same weight. I'm making this poncho. It's called the Kili. And here's another photo of it. Mine is coming along quite well. Dear. Oh dear. I'm using stash yarn. The 4 colors I am using are listed on my Ravelry page. This is one from Knit Crate. This color is called Peat. It's kind of a rosy brown. This is from Nerd String. I can't remember the colorway. This is from Knitterarium, which I got at Rhinebeck. It's a pale pink color. I think it's called Rosy. And this is Miss Babs in just a light gray color. Here's my project so far. So it's really just a long rectangle that has a 10 by 10 ribbing on it with a broken rib edge. The broken rib edge will be on the bottom, and then it's eventually going to be sewn up along the shoulder, one shoulder, so it'll be folded in half, kind of like that. I'm like really loving this project. It's just engaging enough and mindless enough where I don't need the pattern, and I can't tell you how enjoyable it is to knit with 2 yarns held together. These are all fingering weight yarn, by the way, and it gives you the sequence of, you know, pair of these 2 together, and then pair of these 2 together, and then pair of these 2 together, and then pair of these 2 together, and you know, you get the point. But anyway, that's my most worked on project currently, is the Kili poncho. The project I was working on before I started the Kili was a Stephen West pattern called Fantastic, which is a really fun shawl. There's a photo. I'm trying to use up scrap yarn, so that's why I picked this pattern. And I got pretty far on it until I started screwing up the stitch pattern that I was working. So I'll show you what I've got so far, and now I'm at the point where I just don't know if I want to finish it or if I want to keep going. As you can see, it's very bright. I think it would be fun to wear it. I do love the colors. I'm using all types of yarn from my stash, and they're all listed on my Ravelry page if you are interested in finding out more. But this last section that I'm using, this really rustic tomato red yarn, which I can't remember, it didn't have a label on it in my stash, so I don't even know where it's from. This was supposed to be a diagonal ribbing, and it's not reading as such, so I don't really know if I should keep going and just not care what that section looks like. I thought about ripping it back, which is tedious, so I don't know. For now, it's in timeout, and I don't know, maybe I'll pick it back up. I don't think I'm ready to take it off the needles yet, but who knows, if I need these needles, I might just have to do that. I don't know. I tend to rip things off the needles willy-nilly. Another Stephen West pattern that I'm working on, which I don't even think I brought the pattern, I didn't, is a knit along that I'm doing with my friend Sydney, and we are making the, oh dear, what is it called? It's a cowl. It's a really cozy cowl. It's knit in the round and then grafted together along this edge. It's supposed to be really, really long, so it wraps twice. However, I think I'm going to just make it long enough to put on once. You know what I'm saying? Because I've already cut short this colorwork section. It looks beautiful. It was just really tedious to knit. And then I'm now working on this slip stitch pattern, which is going okay, but I need to put it on a smaller cord because I feel like it will be easier to shift the stitches around. I feel like I'm fiddling with the cord a lot when I'm getting around because it's just big enough. But the yarns I'm using are Morehouse Farms Merino, which is some of the softest yarn I've ever knit with. I bought this a long time ago on their website, and I've just been waiting for the perfect project. So these are, all three are from Morehouse. And then I'm using Quince and Company, whatever the sport weight is, I can't remember now, in this light pinky color, and rosy green wool in this navy blue. So this is one I've just kind of been working on here and there. This first section was a bear. It took a long time to get through. Oh, this color, by the way, I don't have it any, oh, I do have a little ball of it left in here, is kind of a chain ply yarn, and I got it through Knit Crate. I don't remember the base name, but like I said, Ravelry has all of my notes, and so that's that project. I'm keeping that in my maker's tote that I had. My friend Heather made this for me. She was a swap partner that I had through the fiber share swap a while back, and I asked her if she would make me one of these, and she did a great job. It's perfect. I'm doing all these knit alongs. It's so funny. So I'm also knitting along on a project with my friend Nancy, Round a Rabbit. We went to Rhinebeck last year together. We have plans to go this year. I'm hoping it happens. That's a sad thought if it doesn't. Very sad. But we bought this pattern at Rhinebeck at the Harrisville Designs booth, which is one of our favorite booths. I had already bought the yarn that I'm using for this project, but I bought the printed pattern. It's the Paula tunic, And I have to admit that I put this down for a while, but I hope I can get back to it soon. I'm using the Peace Fleece, this color, I don't know, it's black, blue with white. Tweety bits. I'm still working on the front, I believe. You knit it in two pieces, the front piece and the back piece, and then they're seamed up the sides. I have started the arm shaping, but here is what I've got so far. So I think it'll be a really fun piece to wear. I really need to get back to it. It's gonna be great layering, you know, in the winter over a long sleeve t-shirt, or I could wear it, you know, in the summer, maybe with a tank top underneath it, because this yarn's not the softest. But it's looking pretty good so far. It's just a lot of stockinette. I don't know, sometimes I need a little bit more. But I'm gonna pick this back up. I promise I'm gonna pick this back up. I have so many projects that are like this that, you know, they just get shelved for a while for some reason. I have ADD or something, I don't know. Of course, my nose is running. Another project that I am working on and that has been housed or shelved for a little while is this a pattern in one of my favorite magazines, Cowl magazine. This is a shrug and it's called the Bamberg cardigan. Here is a picture of it. And I love a good shrug. I think this one is so beautiful. I am definitely going to finish it. It's just taking me a really long time. It's so cute on the model. I'm knitting it with Pearl Soho yarn in good wool, which is a DK. I believe it's a DK weight. Yep, DK. And I don't know the colorway off the top of my head, but it's this light brown color. And you knit 4 of those long panels, because one goes along the back of the shoulder and one goes on the front of the arm. I've knit 1 so far, and then I kind of ran out of steam. So here's what that looks like. It's got kind of a pretty leafy pattern on it. I did start another one. This is how far I got. I definitely want to pick this back up. I think that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to do this podcast today, because I feel like it's going to rejuvenate my love for some of these projects that I've just been sitting on for so long. Like this piece, I will absolutely love wearing this. It's going to be so great. It's really nice wool. I highly recommend Pearl Soho good wool. It's very affordable and so nice to knit with. So yeah, that's the Bamberg cardigan. And it's in its matching bag, of course. I have one more project and then I'm gonna let you go. This is a summary project, so this definitely will be picked back up. This is something I am knitting with, there's no label on this, but this is, oh, I love this yarn so much. Yarn on the House, Yoth Yarns, and it's kind of a cotton wool blend, and the color is not really showing up very well. It's kind of just the palest green color, and it's a fingering weight. I would call it a thin fingering, maybe not quite lace. I'm knitting the Shana, which is this lacy poncho kind of a thing. You knit 4 of these panels, or possibly 3, and then seam them together. Here's the back. I think 4. You make 4. I've knit 1. I finished 1, and then I ran out of steam. You see an overall. So here's the first panel. Engaging, lots of lace. You know, you gotta be in the right mood for that. Very pretty. I'm holding two strands of yarn together to get this gauge. And I didn't block this yet, so this will be quite a bit bigger. But how pretty is that gonna be? I mean, I don't even know if it's really my style, but I just thought it was so beautiful. And I think it's perfect for this yarn. Like, this will be so nice to have in the summer when it's just a little bit chilly. Yeah, I am definitely going to pick this back up. Definitely. I didn't tell you the name of the designer. It's Yumiko Alexander, or Dan Doe. I think you can just look up Dan Doe on Ravelry. It's a paid-for pattern. She has so many beautiful patterns on there. Highly recommend you checking that designer out. I highly recommend you check out all of the yarns and all of the designers that I've talked about in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode, seeing what I've been working on. I don't know yet how I'm going to upload this. I wanted to do it on Instagram, but it said that I have to have a more of a pro account to make that happen for a longer video. So I am just recording this on my phone, and hopefully we'll be able to get it off of my phone onto my computer and then onto YouTube. So I don't know when my next episode will be. Hopefully soon, so that I can show you maybe some finished objects, because I don't have anything right now. Have been doing a lot of crafting. I'm really trying to stay busy during this uncertain time. I am laid off from my quilt shop job currently, and I'm trying to collect unemployment for that. I hope you guys are all doing well, and you're all healthy and staying safe. Stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye!